Why, hello everybody. Today is going to be a day where I go over some of the stuff I found at the Goodwill by the pound. And it's going to seem like a lot of stuff, but frankly, as you might know because you haven't seen a video in a while, this is the result of many, many months of looking for stuff. It's been, not much stuff has been happening. Most interesting, check this out. I can't believe that people go to the movies and they buy like this special like cups and stuff, and then they just drop them off at the Goodwill by the pound. It's so weird. But yeah, I was like a little bit. I went to see the D&D movie. It's very good. I could tell what they were going for in terms of like the original script, but I think the actors, especially the one who played the paladin, did an amazing job pulling it off. A decent movie, a really fun movie, and I'm glad it already made its money back. Hopefully they'll make enough profit to make another one or something else. Obviously, I think there's room for all sorts of D&D projects. So yeah, it was neat finding this. I will use this to hold, not brushes probably, but maybe sculpting tools or something like that. Crafting stuff first. We got a skeleton, a hard plastic skeleton, partial. I felt that this would look really neat. It's a little bit smaller scale than some of those ones that I saw before.
What is a skeleton's favorite snack?
This is something I'm going to experiment with. A very old doll mold. And obviously you can tell this is for making doll faces and doll feet. And it is the creepiest looking. This is very old. You can see the ears. I'm assuming this is some sort of elf mold. But yeah, it seems to be rubbery enough to be able to make something. So yeah, I'm going to try to utilize this in a crafting project. I thought that was just really neat. An old doll making molds for dolls. That's very interesting. Let's see here. Other bits and bobbins. A cage. Nice hard plastic. Already in scale for D&D. Always good to have. Dollar store dinosaur. I think I already had this one. I shouldn't have bought it, but you know me. An orc head. Look at that. A red orc head. That would be cool for a little like statue or something like that. Some little mirror things from the Twilight board game, I believe. We have plenty of sprue stuff. More educational sprue. For some reason, there's just so much of that here. We have the Titanic. This is, I believe, an entire Titanic model. And yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this, but it's excellent sprue bits. So now I don't know how good these are. I just grabbed these literally today. These are Micron pigment ink. This is archival ink. These seemed really nice. And I know that people use Micron pens for some painting processes. So I did grab these because, you know, nobody else wanted them. We also have a pigment liner for calligraphy. Yeah, so I'll have to do an experiment and see if I can use these for anything. And of course, a Sharpie. Ultra fine point. This one actually looks pretty worn. But it still has ink in it. And then I found some Royal paint brushes. Which obviously these are not natural hair brushes. Generally speaking, I like using natural hair brushes. However, if I can find, you know, these are literally, you know, cost me pennies at the Goodwill by the pound. So, you know, it's good to have if you have like a fine brush that you need something. You don't want to ruin one of your other things. Oh, I did find one natural hair brush. This is a, or maybe not, I'm not sure. Another Royal brush. And then this one, which is an effects brush. Creative Mark. I don't know if this is for something specifically like painting miniatures, but I thought this would actually make a really good dry brush. This is an FX brush, so I'm not sure. If I could get it to be in focus, that'd be nice. Yeah, Creative Mark. Yeah, so a bunch of interesting paintbrushes. Also, this excellent Made in Japan OLFA hobby knife. This, of course, is the brand of hobby knife, which I think this is one of the best box cutters you can buy. You should go to Black Magic Crafts supply website to see all the stuff that he uses. This is an amazing dang old knife. And it's honestly the best box knife I've ever used. This was recommended by Blackmagic Craft. So yeah. So I'm assuming the hobby knife is going to be of equal value, I think. And of course, for the price that I paid per pound, you know, that's an amazing deal. We got some needles. You always need random needles when you're doing crafting stuff. I got some cheap folk art paint, but it's a neat color. It's Silver Anniversary. We have a rolling ruler, which is helpful for a number of different purposes. You can use it to make circles and stuff, and parallel vertical lines easily enough. And you can kind of roll the ruler up and down. Something like this is very useful. Not useful enough to the point where I would spend, you know, full price for it, but considering that it literally cost me probably, you know, maybe under 10 cents, you know, that's a pretty good deal. An old pocket knife. I bought this just because it was a curiosity, actually. Check these things out. These are actually little tea lights in these little plastic casings. Now, I'm probably just going to tear these out and use these for lights, because this is a little bit too bulky. But it's always nice to get some cheapo tea light stuff. We got some plastic spiders here, and these were actually interesting because these were actually really nicely sculpted and of hard plastic, so that's not bad. Like, I would just throw these on the table if I was doing an encounter. And obviously the correct scale for medium-sized spiders, and I got an entire bag of them. So yeah, I do have spider miniatures, but I don't have this many. This is a nice thing to have for a gaming table. If you open up a room and it's just absolutely crammed full of spiders, it's just nice to have a visual thing for that. I believe these are called pinking shears. Craft edgers. And these were just nobody wanted these. These were just sitting in the bottom of the thing. And I got a bunch of these because I figured these would look really good for making shingles. This one in particular, this is supposed to be a picket fence edge, but I think this would actually be decent to use on cardboard to make like to make window shingles. So we'll have a video where I try these out and try to use these. But yeah, I think these would look really cool, like the exaggerated. Obviously, this is not what these are for, but yeah, little pinking shears. If I wanted to do a more subtle one, they have these ones here, which look a little bit more rounded. And then the Batwing one. I'm not sure what I'm going to use the Batwing one for. And then the tiny little ones, which I actually might be good for making some tiny little shingles. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting and something I definitely want to try out. Again, I got this guy just because he's a little, obviously he's a little Ewok guy. I don't know what this is. This is obviously something from Assassin's Creed. And you know what? I'm going to keep this in the bag. I'm going to look this up. I'm assuming this is like Assassin's Creed, like Black Flag bag or flag or something like that. I'm not going to open this up. I'm going to keep this in the package and see if this is worth any money. And then finally, this lovely metal tank toy, which is the Charblanc General Patton M42 Solido. Solido is made in France. This is a French toy. Natural specialty paper, and this is birch. This is this super heavyweight paper, and it's birch, so it's got some lovely things. I love when I go to the Goodwill by the pound and I see stuff like this. I like doing this because I like doing handouts, and if I have handouts that require like cool paper, interesting paper, I grab that so I can use that. Because again, obviously something that I would never pay full price for, but because I found it at Goodwill by the pound, I'll definitely use that for handouts during my D&D games. The little Moomin matching game. This is just a cute little Moomin game. If you don't know Moomin, just Google it. But this is something I bought specifically for the public library book sale Oh, no, no. I actually bought this for the public library game room. Because this is a fun little game that you can play with, like, your kids and stuff. So this is just a little matching game with the Moomin characters. So, yeah. It's very, very cute. Magical World of Moomin. So, yeah, I bought that just so I could donate it to the public library to go in their little public game room area. Labyrinth. I found the cards earlier, and now... no, it's everywhere. Look at this Ravensburg Classic. And we have all the little bits and pieces. Gonna take you back to the past to play these shitty games at Suckies. So many of these. So many cards, and they're all out of place. And look at this. What are you doing? Look at that guy. I wouldn't trust that guy if I found him in the dungeon. Sitting there with his striped shirt. I don't know what the heck he is. I won't trust that guy at all. And sadly, it looks like we only have 2 of the miniatures. So yeah, I'm unfamiliar with this, but this is the game board, obviously. It's supposed to have 4 player pieces. Sadly, we're missing 2 of them. So this is not complete. But you know what? This might still be... we do have the instruction booklet. So I might actually donate this as well to the public library game room. Because it seems like a pretty simple game, and it seems fun. And... yeah. How to play, objective of the game. Yeah, the playing pieces, I can just probably throw in some more. Cool sorceress. And then the goober mage guy. Look at that guy. I don't know what to do. I've only read magic out of a book before. Oh. You goober. Yeah, goober, you. Yeah, well, it looks like we have most of the cards. So it's probably playable. It's what we don't have is the extra little pieces, which I can just probably provide something. Look, he's on the cover, too. I won't trust him. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but I would not trust him. I don't care, that evil smile. Avalon Hill Games. Starship Troopers. And these seem... I never know with Avalon Hill Games because they have quite a lot of stuff in them if you're not familiar. But yeah. These definitely are kind of interesting. Oh, wow. Look at that. The boards of these games are just like, you know, they have a feel to them that the modern games just don't have. Oh, it's hex-based. Look at that. Quadrants. Alien control. We have the quadrant maps. And I would have to look this up to see if this is complete. But yeah, it looks like we got some land and perhaps sea. And we have some other little bits. Oh, it looks like this might have a little bit of mold. That's no good. Inside is good. It might be just discolored, frankly. Wow, look at that. Starship Troopers. I read this book when I was on a extended canoe trip for like a week. It was my only thing that I could... That was the only, like, little bit of, like, non-canoeing stuff I had to do was to read Starship Troopers. These old illustrations are the best. Yeah, that's cool. And we have the little maps. We got the little tear off things so people can have the little squadrons. And we got some extra papers on here. And we have the Terran attack table. Starship Troopers. This is an exploding bomb. This is a 1-minute bomb. So, hilariously, like, the Starship Troopers novel, like, that was not, like, an anti-fascist thing. But if you watch the movie Star Trek Troopers, like that is legitimately one of the best anti-fascist movies ever. But the book wasn't. I think you could definitely read the book and then watch the movie, and you'll definitely get different things out of each. And it looks like he actually got him that military axiom. Yeah. Very interesting. Love that. I love the art on that. It's great too. And then I also found another, and again, this is stuff that people picked through and didn't want. This is definitely going in my personal collection. But this is Outdoor Survival, a game about wilderness skills, which I always love doing stuff like this in D&D. Oh, this one has a dice. One single dice. Some little bags that have some tokens in it. Life level index chart. Survival scenarios. Person counters. Outdoor survival primers. Rules of play. Some lovely food source things, all sorts of things. And then we have some more hex maps, but this is all one. Look at this. Dang, look at that. That's amazing. Look at that. That is so cool. Unfold the whole thing. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That's impressive. Another Avalon Hill game. I have no idea if it's complete or not, but again, I think that might go on the bookshelf. 3.0 Player's Handbook, which is not in great condition, but it's complete, not missing any pages. I'm going to have a complete collection of these, maybe by next year. We got One Punch Man #5. Moomin Rider. I don't know anything about One Punch Man other than Moomin Rider rides a regular bike, and he's just like a regular guy. Ravenloft books, which I was happy to find. These I actually found at the Goodwill store, not the By the Pound, but they only cost me I believe $2 each, which is not that bad. The Enemy Within, Christy Golden, who wrote The Vampire the Mist, which was a book that I really liked, and Carnival of Fear, Ravenloft books. Very interesting. Breath of the Wild Explorer's Guide. Which, yeah. Dang, look at that artwork. I figured with the new Zelda game coming out, I might actually pick up Breath of the Wild again and complete it. Look at that. It's got all the... When I was your age, Link looked like that. Batman soundtrack. And kiss on a rose and again, down at my roses in bloom. Some Doctor Who, the complete 6th series. Doctor Who Full Circle BBC video, the Tom Baker years. Lupin the Third. Love Heist. Otherwise known as Jim Cornette. I found a Gravity Falls thing with a bunch of Gravity Falls episodes. I'll try to figure out what's going on with this. This seems cool. The artwork on the front is the only reason why I want this. The video game character come to life. We got the Mario Super Show, Mario Brothers Super Show, which I think this is the one where the introduction is to Captain Lou Albano, I think. I don't know. This just seemed so weird of a thing, I decided to pick it up. Far Cry 3, completely sealed. Now, this is sealed. I don't know if this is going to actually work, though, because I don't know what sort of DRM is on this. I just picked this up because I thought it was complete, but I realized this is new. Nobody ever opened this. I actually kind of half started to open it, but I realized it started tearing off the thing. So either somebody unsealed this and resealed this when it was new, which is it's obviously a distinct possibility, or this has just never been unsealed and it's new like the other Far Cry. But yeah, that's so cool. Obviously, it feels like it's complete. It probably is. But yeah, if this a sealed PC Far Cry, that's kind of cool. But perhaps not quite as interesting as Sonic, the Genesis collection for the PlayStation 3. Look at all this stuff. This is a large collection of Sega Genesis games, which, of course, I mean, you know, it's more of a convenience, obviously. But at the same time, like, the Blu-ray is in very good condition. It's just dusty with some fingerprints. There are no scratches at all. So yes, you could obviously emulate these all. And I don't even know how the emulation is on this, but again, I bought this at the Goodwill by the pound. So this I got for 30 cents a pound. And you know what? I'm happy to buy this for my collection. That's definitely something that you can spend an afternoon messing around with all the old Genesis games. This is a little wooden case thing that I found, and you can put little... This is where I think all of the pens and stuff were, and so I'm going to use this for all of my brushes and stuff. And I'm going to put this on the shelf, and that way if I need a certain brush or a tool, I can just grab it. And I'm going to use this for the brushes and the pens. And I thought this was just a nice little set of drawers. And, you know, the woodworking obviously isn't that great. But you know what? It's getting harder and harder to find, like, decent-looking stuff. This is obviously very sturdy. It's used, but I'm going to clean it up and use that up. So, yeah. Yeah, so this was an interesting look. Again, I'm going to really focus on trying to make real content, which is different than just buying a bunch of stuff and talking about it. I definitely want to try out the 3 main things that I got. The Micron pens, the little pinking shears, edging shears. I want to try making shingles with these. And then I definitely want to use the creepy doll mold and see what I can do with that. And yeah, the rest of it is what it is. It's so funny that I went to see the D&D movie, and then I found that at the Goodwill by the pound. That's hilarious. All right, then.